every client you've had that's been a red flag has somehow sent you a message or dropped you a call or something. And I'm going to do in this video is teach you how to spot those red flags, how to perhaps not misread something that is a red flag, and how sometimes it's just down to nerves that people behave the way they do. So in this video, we're talking about how to deal with clients as a photographer. Please understand, this video isn't about you rejecting people. This is about spotting the flags so that you can cut them off at the source, but also be a better business person, a bit more astute when it comes to choosing them. So the first one I think that comes straight out the bat is the haggler. The haggler, I don't know, like the person who wants to haggle on your price, who doesn't like the price, wants to barter with you. And I love a bit of back and forth. Please understand, I do like a bit of back and forth, but I don't like it if the client thinks they're telling me how to run my business. It's not for me. I feel like sometimes when you work with hagglers or people who barter on price, they will question the value of the product going forward. And it often means that I am at the in-person sale or the reviews that they're going to keep asking for more and want more. And it's just a little red flag to me that tells me this potentially isn't a client I want to book in with. And I think we have to be okay with saying, you're not my client, or maybe not in those words, but we will say something along the lines of, hey, I'm not available anymore. I hope you have fun finding a photographer, or something, maybe not even that harsh. Imagine it, just bugger off. But I feel like we should be able to say to somebody, you're not my customer, like go away. Yeah, go away. Bye. Maybe not. That's probably how you ruin your business. But like just say you're not available. My diary's full. I haven't got time to do this now. I'm going away. I've changed my name, my identity. One that I have come across quite recently a lot is the urgency one, the one that wants it done immediately. I spoke on my podcast a little while ago about somebody who wanted some handbag shot. Normally I don't have a problem with that, but they wanted it done there and then. That costs price because I'm having to do it for you. There's no real reason why it's urgent. That to me is a little red flag. There are many reasons why you might want something urgent, but having just a vague reason that I need it done this weekend implies that you're not really thinking about the photo shoot. You're not really planning it as much as you were going to. You're just kind of doing it on a whim. And that to me may cause me problems later on when you don't really know what you want. And so you might not be happy with the end result. Often I feel like the haggler and the urgent person come together as the same person. Oh, sort my hair out. Yeah. So they often like, I know it's done now. Wait, it's that much? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, can you get it for a bit less? No. In fact, I had somebody ask me to shoot their entire birthday photos for £100, but they wanted 6 outfits and they wanted a hair and makeup artist. No. Another one which comes into this quite a lot, which is why I always say people utilize Pinterest, send me inspiration pictures, is the very vague brief. If you don't know what you want, how am I meant to create that shoot for you? And then that means that when the images do come out or we do the shoot, you might not be happy. That is a huge red flag to me. If you don't know what you want, how am I meant to give you what you want and you to be happy? It just doesn't work that way. I think we have to be very careful about how we arrange photo shoots and be really strict and say, hey, I can't create a shoot out of nowhere. You need to tell me what you want. And if they don't, then the shoot can't go ahead. I'm really strict on that myself, actually. I've been burnt once and I would never do it again. The love bomber. The love bomber. I know this is like a really weird one, but like sometimes you get a photographer and they tell you about how their client said, like, I'm the only one. Or you might have had it as a photographer where someone goes, oh, you're the only photographer who gets this. You're the only one. I just kind of feel like, yes, I know I'm great, but it gives me a little bit of a warning flag that perhaps it's just too familiar too quick, Like we have to be aware about love bombing in our relationships, personal relationships. Let's think about it in our business relationships as well, okay? So you're going to ask me, hey, Khandie, how do I deal with this? Let me tell you. What you're actually going to do is learn how to filter this out with your messages. So you're going to send your pricing in early, okay? So they know straight away what it is. If you can have it on your website, have it on your website. This is where it works so well for you. Tell them exactly what's included and make sure they understand what's included. Lay it out really simply because you don't want this coming after you later on. Their reaction to you sending them everything will tell you more about what you need to know about this client than anything else, like their reactions to what you send. If they start haggling, bartering, this is a client red flag. But then you're like, Khandie, what about the day? What about the day, honey? Let's talk about the day. In fact, let's go set up a shoot so we can talk about the day. So it's the day of the photo shoot and you're like, okay, I'm ready. Let's talk about some red flags. One of them I think is a really big one that happens quite a lot is the over director. That's somebody who really controls the whole situation, doesn't allow you really to get involved. This often feels like somebody who might have had a bad experience. So be aware of that. You might have to be a lot gentler with them. You might have to explain a little bit more. It does eat into your shoot if it's left unmanaged. Like you have to assert yourself. It's not that they mistrust you, it's that they just had a very bad experience. Okay. Someone who's over-directing my shoot, like, hey, why don't we just focus on the shoot? Let's get you some banging shots. Talk to me about something else. Like I spoke to one client who was quite the over-director, but that's because she needed to look perfect for a job interview. She wanted this photo. I said, tell me about this job. Tell me what you're doing about it. And it kind of distracted her. And it was the use of distraction that got her to follow in line a bit better. There's also someone who chronically apologizes. Like they always say sorry, be it for their face, their body, their children. This is anxiety. This is anxiety, and often is like, if you like, a product of having a bad shoot before or feeling like they have to apologize. I find this a lot with mums with their kids. They always feel like they need to apologize. One of the things that really bugs me is when mums feel they need to apologize for their SEND children. I work a lot with SEND children and adults, and it's something that really upsets me that they feel they need to apologize for their children. I genuinely don't have ever had a problem. Different kids do different things, and I am 100% okay with how your kids react. One of the things that I think we always need to be careful of, especially in today's social media, is people who are constantly on their phone wanting to stop the shoot to take photos, behind the scenes, all that. This is a photo shoot. They need to be focused on the photo shoot. And I know it's really difficult. It can be nerves, but it is something that you need to kind of get in hand. And one of the ways you have to do this is literally say, okay, let's get the shoot going. Like, come on, we haven't got a lot of time. Or, oh my God, I want to get these images of you. Yes, I can take some shots on your phone if you're comfortable with that. But I feel like if the shoot is more about behind the scenes than the photo shoot, perhaps they should have bought a content session with you rather than a photo shoot. They are constantly on their phone. I don't always think it's like a nerve thing. Sometimes I just change location and go, right, we're going to go here, change them up, because they might be bored and they're trying to like numb their brain or to stimulate their brain with some other things. So you need to change it up. So I'll either change the background or change their positioning or say, hey, why don't we try a different outfit? Change something to stop them wanting to scroll on their phone. This is a bizarre one, but so reliable, is watch the hands, not so much the face, but watch the hands. Like, someone starts to self-hug, which is where they hold themselves, rub their legs, they're uncomfortable. Okay. People who start wringing their hands, they're uncomfortable, they're nervous. Faces will perform for the camera, I feel. Sometimes they'll get a little bit grimacy or they'll start like leaning back. That's them uncomfortable. And I tell them that's okay, it's really happened. But hands are the big tell for me. You can tell if someone's uncomfortable because they'll be like, and they'll like hug themselves. It's a sign of comfort. They give themselves comfort. So watch out for that. I think it goes without saying there is often tension in family and couple shoots. This happens. Expect a little bit of tension because mum or dad wants the shoot to be perfect and there's a little bit overriding. But just because, like, one of the red flags that I really annoyed me when I was watching a video that someone said was if only one of the couples or one member of the family is responding to you. That's typical. Don't think that as a red flag. I think a red flag in a family shoot is if like literally no one wants to be there. And it's not sometimes the mum or the dad's fault, whoever's booked the session. It's just because personalities sometimes happen. And I know dads get a rough ride on family shoots, that they don't want to be at family shoots. But again, it could be anxiety, nerves, all sorts of things. For me, it's a little difficult every now and then because sometimes I have couples who have separated and they want pictures with their kids still, or they've got divorced and they come back together and they still want pictures of their kids. The way to do it is, rather than think, okay, I'm going to cancel shoot, I can't deal with that, is just understand each person has their own boundaries. Yes, the children want pictures of their parents together, but don't force it too much, okay? Just understand that people need some space to deal with it. And it's okay if there's a little bit of tension. It's okay. I think if people start snapping or start crying, just put the camera down, give them some space, or just relax and just go, do you know what? Why don't we take a time out? Let everyone breathe and have some fun. I've had it before where kids have become overwhelmed, mum gets overwhelmed, or maybe they've had a row on the way, or something's happened, or they're not wearing the matching clothes. It's not a big a deal as it probably feels as for the mum, but for whoever's upset, I would just say don't dismiss it, but certainly downplay it, if that makes sense. I think the client that you're probably worried about is probably told you most of it already in their first contact with you. Have a look, read into it. If you don't have the exact wording or how to reply, the best thing you can do is look at what you think is giving you the red flag. Is it because they're like already bartering on price? It just like already know that when you already go, the prices are fixed and move on. I don't enter discussions with people who continually tell me to barter with my price. I tell them what it is and I move. It's done. If someone tells me, oh, I want this done, I want this included, you don't tell me what's included. This is not like a Subway sandwich section where, you know, you get to have a bit of tomato, a bit of cucumber. This is a pre-made go. I can add extras on that I already have, but that costs, right? Don't start substituting things out thinking you get it cheaper. I am running the packages, not you. I make a few allowances here and there, but for the most part, no. And I think it's all about how you stick yourself into this. Like, how do you put yourself down on this and go, okay, this is the line, this is my hard line, don't cross it. I think as clients have become, I will just say post-pandemic, clients have definitely changed how they spend and how they shop, in my experience. People often want a lot more for their money, but again, that's a reflection of the cost of living crisis, but also just, you know, the internet sort of implies people get all this stuff and it's very easy to compare and have a look. For me, I just tell a client what it is, very black and white. I have it in my contracts and I go forward. And I've learned to weed out the red flag. Please don't always think everyone's a red flag. Nerves can really be most of the problem here. It is incredibly nerve-wracking to have a photograph taken, and particularly if you're neurodivergent, I highly recommend that you, rather than think they're a red flag client, you go, okay, they might need a little bit more help understanding. That's why I try to have my packages as simple as possible. That's why I offer multiple ways to contact me, and I always follow up a phone call with an email or a WhatsApp message, so it's there in writing in case they need to refer back to it. For me, it's really important, and any notes I take on their shoot, I drop it into my Studio Ninja client's file notes, so that shoot has the files there, because that's why I use that client management software. I think we need to be very careful how we treat clients nowadays, and be very cautious. Not everybody is cookie cutter same. Anxiety can sometimes present as arrogance. Nerves can present as aloofness. It's not always that way, but you can start seeing certain signs. It's really important in this world that we open our minds up. Remember, being photographed is very overstimulating for people, and we need to bear that in mind. But if you like this kind of videos, this is something that I have enjoyed doing, so I keep getting asked about this stuff. And I know I talk about this a lot on my podcast. I've talked about particularly how to work with specific autistic clients and other clients, and how you're attracting bad clients. So I hope you enjoy those videos too. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.